Denishawn was always very interested in what are called the eases. And the eases would be the Chinese, the Japanese, the Javanese, the Burmese, the Balinese. And if you are doing these costumes that they did in Denishawn when they went on that fabulous tour of the Orient from 1923 to 1926, they had to recreate little costumes that are Balinese costumes. So these have been made, these fit. Sarah Fuller was the first cast in Balinese. And Aisha McMillan, who's now at the director of Charlotte Ballet. But these are really beautiful little costumes. And you have, as I say, I thank my mother for teaching me the value of beautiful costumes. So, but we found that as we went from Denishawn, and I mean, Denishawn is the ultimate bling trip. I've got boxes of jeweled bling from Denishawn. Then I got to dance Humphrey, and Day on Earth is about as far from bling as you can get. This was my costume for doing the part of the woman in Day on Earth, a farmer's wife. And if I had to pick as a role to dance, that would be it. Although I love incense, I love air for the G-string too, but that role was my favorite role. I also had the good opportunity to do the matriarch in With My Red Fires, and that's a trip. That you have to be not scared of heights and be up on a box and jump off the box. It's a 6-foot-high box, 4 foot by 4 foot, with a train that's feet behind you, whirling it around, and then jump off the box and hope the men will catch you. But, and what you have to understand is that I was between 50 and 60 years old when I did these. I had never been a very good ballet dancer. I had never had great roles to dance. And to have that at the age that I was absolutely extraordinary. So then we get to Loie Fuller. My dance passion had expanded from Doris Humphrey to Denishawn to, I really, really loved the Rue St. Denis things. And Duncan, we did a lot of Duncan because I became very good friends with Laurie Bellalove. But then I wanted to do Loie Fuller. I had a lighting designer who was getting pretty good at it and was fascinated with that. And we started to think that maybe we could do it ourselves. And I was doing some research on it, and I called Nana Scheinflug because I had seen her version of the big butterfly wing dance that she did, and I knew she was interested, and she was absolutely generous and supportive. She loaned me the costume that she had. She came and she wanted to see this happen, and she had also worked with Ernestine and had learned 2 ecstatic themes. So we had, Nana and I had a real thing going about dance history. So I was muddling along trying to figure out how to be Loie Fuller, not me, but I had another dancer doing it. This young man had said to me, there's these 2 women at Ohio State who have reconstructed Fuller's fire dance. And I called Jessica Lindbergh right away, and she and Megan Slater came, and they set fire dance, and we had a costume made, and we did it. And it was such a satisfy, because all my life I'd seen the Toulouse-Lautrec pictures and the Art Nouveau pictures, and what was all the hype about. And the more we learned about Loie Fuller and her lighting and everything, the more exciting it got. So we raised enough money and wrote a grant to the Illinois Humanities Council, asking if they would help us reconstruct more Loie Fuller, because she's from Western Springs. She's an Illinois native. And they said, no, we're not in the business of reconstructing dance. We are interested in history. So we found money for the reconstruction of dances somehow. Well, the man down there who we worked with said, we would support if you do a documentary on her. Well, why don't we do a documentary? We'd never made a movie before, but we might as well try. So we started with the second dance, and we sent Megan and Jessica to the archives in And they said, let's do night. Jessica's father wanted always to see night, so we did night. And we started working on night, and we sent them to 5 archives in Paris and to archives in New York. And they did research for night, and then we had this costume made. It's an extraordinary solo. And then we sent Jessica for a 3rd year with Megan to do more research, and then she constructed Lily. And when we had the 3 solos, and Mike had spent, I don't know how many years going through out in Western Springs area, going to where had been Fullersburg, through the graveyards, looking at tombstones, looking at the old houses, doing research online. We actually did, again, for I think a total of $15,000 from the Illinois Humanities Council, and it helped to cover the expenses of the 3 solos, but also this documentary. So we've done a lot of dance history that way.